Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which is going to be a little bit different than my usual vlogs because most of it is going to be, or a large part of it will be, well, I guess whether it's most of it or part of it depends how long this introduction is. I'm going to try to keep it short because I want to focus on a little bit over 3-minute video that pretty much speaks for itself. It speaks for the person featured in the video, but it also says something very profound, I think, about our country. America is known as, well, it's a Christian majority country, obviously, but we use the term Judeo-Christian, and that term just gets mentioned just as a matter of course, but I wonder how many people consider what that really means. Benjamin Disraeli was Prime Minister of England at the turn of the century, at the turn of the 19th to the 20th century. What's interesting about him, I'm going to get to a quote that he made. Actually, I think it was in a novel that he wrote. He wrote a novel. But what's interesting about Disraeli is that he was born Jewish. And the story is that he was born a Jew, and the local rabbi insulted his father or would not appoint him to a position in the synagogue that he wanted. So out of spite, Disraeli's father converted Disraeli at the age of 13, converted him to Episcopalian, I think was the particular sect. But later in life, he said, or he had a character say in a novel something about Judaism and Christianity. He said that Christianity is incomprehensible without Judaism, but Judaism is incomplete without Christianity. And I think that is an important principle of our country. I don't know whether Disraeli meant that Jews should convert to Christianity, but to me it means that you need both. You need the elements of Judaism, justice, logic, truth, such as the Ten Commandments, right? They are displayed in the Supreme Court, but you also need, this is where Christianity comes in, is mercy, justice tempered with mercy. So that's why only America could produce a president like Abraham Lincoln. I can't remember what, I think it was Maya Angelou was the writer who said that Bill Clinton was the first black president. All right, well, if that's valid to say, then I would say that Abraham Lincoln was the first Jewish president. I mean, he was a Christian, but if you listen to his speeches, well, the Gettysburg Address, 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent. That's very biblical. That's very Old Testament. And when he talks about in the second inaugural address, he talks about slavery being paid for in blood. In other words, balancing the scales. That's also very Jewish. But then he talks about, in that very same speech, binding up the nation's wounds with charity towards all, malice towards none. That is, well, that's Christianity. That is Christianity, and it's what makes us different. You compare World War I, how Europe treated Germany when Germany was defeated in the war, to how we did. We helped those nations, we defeated them, and we helped them rebuild, Germany and Japan. And you hear the phrase, we don't say we defeated Germany, we defeated, well, some people will say that, but at the time it was we are at war with Germany, we are at war with Japan, and then we are at peace with Germany, we are at peace with Japan. Now, another Judeo-Christian country that nobody has really said this, or maybe they haven't thought about it. That's why I do these vlogs. Sometimes I come up with something that other people haven't. But I think Israel is we say the Jewish state, but I think it's a Judeo-Christian state because, well, you have Israelis subscribing to this peace conference, this economic conference that was held in Bahrain, you can be sure if Israel defeats in some future war Lebanon or the Palestinian Authority or Gaza, that they will help them rebuild. They're trying to help them right now. So that's what I want to preface this video with, because this video, you may have already seen this video. It's been all over the internet. It really is, well, let me just give you the background. You may be familiar with this too. I hadn't followed the case very closely. Amber Geiger is, well, she was a police officer. She came home one night. She entered the wrong apartment. She thought she was entering her apartment. She was entering the neighbor's apartment, saw a man there and shot and killed him. The man's name, Botham Jean. She shot him. There was a trial. The trial was just over, and she was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Now, what you're going to see in this video, for those who may not be familiar with it, is the brother of Botham Jean giving a testimony on the stand. It's, well, I'm not going to say any more. It really just speaks for itself. I'm going to play the video now. I urge you to watch the whole thing if you haven't seen it, and then I'll just come back at the end with a brief goodbye.
I don't want to say twice or for the 100th time what you've or how much you've taken from us. I think you know that. But I hope you go to God with all the guilt, all the bad things you may have done in the past. Each and every one of us may have done something that we're not supposed to do. If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you, and I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even behalf of my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you, because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person, and I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes. Thank you very much.
As I said, the video speaks for itself. I'm sure you'll all agree. The article that I read said that the judge was in tears as she granted the brother's request. But I would also just add briefly to relate this video to the point I was making before I showed the video that, well, it speaks very highly of this young man. I mean, it just does. I don't know how many people could do what he did, but it's also the tempering that I want to emphasize, the linking of justice and mercy, Judaism and Christianity. She committed a crime. She had to be punished, but there was no vengeance in that brother. There was no vengeance. It was just justice being done, and he even forgave her. I'm just going to end it right here. So thanks for stopping by. As usual, thumbs up if you like the video. If you think someone else would benefit from it, then of course share it. Any comments, there's a comment section below the video. I would love for all of you to subscribe, and even more, come back and see me again. And until you see me again and I see you sort of through the camera lens, bye.